Hi, I'm Tlish and you're watching Coffee and Clix. If you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe and click on the link tree found in the description of this video for links to my media content. Enjoy, and don't forget, wake up and smell the Clix. Hi, I'm Tlish and you're watching Coffee and Clix. I'm really excited for today's episode of Team Build with Tlish. Today we're going to be building around Aries and Steve Trevor from the DC Heroclix Wonder Woman 80th Anniversary set. Those two particular figures were requested by Matt Russo and Aaron Young in the Coffee and Clix YouTube channel Heroclix Facebook discussion group. And so I'm going to honor their requests in order to make it work. I made this team non-theme. Don't forget, everybody, to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and also comment in the comments below. Maybe comment with your favorite Aries or Steve Trevor team builds that you come up with. I'd be interested in seeing everybody's ideas on Aries/Steve Trevor mission point builds. If you are unfamiliar with mission points, it is another alternate win condition that WizKids has added as a mechanic in Heroclix. So instead of scoring victory points to win, you can also win the game by earning 20 mission points. So we're going to try to do that in today's video with today's team build around Aries and Steve Trevor. I'm really excited, so let's jump right in. Let's take a look at Aries. Aries is 125 points. He has 0 range with 2 targets. He has a Mystics team ability. He has 11 speed with charge, and he's a flyer. 12 attack with Blaze Claw's Fangs. 19 defense with Impervious, and 4 damage with a special power. He has the armor, brute, and deity, and soldier and warrior keywords. He has a sideline active trait, which we're going to skip because we're playing him on our main force. He also has another trait, they fight for my amusement. When a character named Allied Soldier or German Soldier is KO'd, give Aries an Endless War token. At the beginning of your turn, for every 2 Endless War tokens that he has, gain 1 mission point. So that is how you earn mission points, by gaining Endless War tokens. His damage power is called a Vision of Never-Ending Battle. It is leadership, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. When he uses it and succeeds, you may instead generate an Allied Soldier Bystander or a German Soldier Bystander. If you do, an opponent also generates an Allied Soldier Bystander or German Soldier Bystander, whichever you did not choose, adjacent to one of their characters. The bystander they generate is friendly to their force. So the whole point behind Aries is that you keep generating bystanders and hope that they get KO'd. Because every time they get KO'd, you gain Endless War tokens. And then when you gain Endless War tokens, you can eventually gain mission points. And keep in mind that the bystanders, it doesn't have to be a bystander that gets KO'd. It just has to be a character named Allied Soldier or German Soldier. So I'll show you the Allied Soldier Bystander and the German Soldier Bystander. So these are the bystanders that Aries generates. The Allied Soldier Bystander right there, running shot and enhancement. and the German soldier bystander. And he has energy explosion and toughness. Okay. Those are bystanders, and when they get KO'd, Aries gets endless war tokens. But the next figure that we're going to look at, Steve Trevor, also generates allied soldier figures. And if we take a look at the allied soldier figure, the allied soldier figure is 20 points and has that same first click as the bystander does, but he's 4 clicks long. Okay, and he's considered a sidekick. So let's take a look at all right. So Aries, let's just take a one last look at Aries real quick. He does generate those bystanders on a leadership of a 4 through 6, so 50% chance. And not only that, but he's a pretty beefy kind of a character with his stats. He is the god of war, so he has 11 speed, 12 attack with blades, 19 defense, which is a really high defense, 4 damage. And and if you wanted to go for that 5 or 6 damage, he could use blades to try to get a 5 or a 6. The lowest he could get on blades is a 3 because that's one below his printed damage value. So if you use blades with him, it's a possible 3, 4, 5, or 6 damage. But he is dealing 4 natural damage. So he is a pretty strong character by himself. He also has mystics, so you kind of want to stay away from him, Let's take a look at our next figure, which is Steve Trevor. The whole idea behind Aries, though, is that he's going to keep generating those bystanders, and then you're going to build up those endless war tokens, and then you're going to try to get to 20 mission points. And if you get to 20 mission points, you win the game. If you get to 20 mission points before your opponent. So let's take a look at Steve Trevor here. Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor has 6 range with a single target. He's 40. We're going to use him at 40 points. Now, this is Steve Trevor, the uncommon from the Wonder Woman 80th anniversary set. He has running shot and super senses and a special damage power. Now, that super senses, keep in mind the Wonder Woman ally team ability. That team ability states that you have super senses on a 6. Super senses, but only succeeds on a 6. And if you have super senses on your dial, then you add 1 to the super senses roll. So really, he has super senses on that first click, so he's succeeding on a 4 through 6. So that's a 50% chance that Steve Trevor evades an attack, which is pretty tough to KO a 40-point figure with super senses, 50% chance super senses. Pretty pesky. Also, Steve Trevor is a captain, and he gives friendly sidekicks energy shield deflection, and he has leadership and traded leadership. And when Steve Trevor uses it and succeeds, you may instead generate a allied soldier on click number 1, and that is the actual 20-point figure allied soldier that we just looked at. So he generates that allied soldier, and that allied soldier will get energy shield deflection because it's a sidekick, and also it counts towards Aries' endless war tokens. So if that sidekick gets KO'd, Aries gains an endless war token. So Steve Trevor does play nicely with Aries. Let's take a look at the third figure on this team. And this is going to make us go off of theme because we're no longer, because he has different keywords. The third figure on this team is Marquis of Death from Marvel Heroclix Fantastic Four Future Foundation. He's set number 61. He is a super rare. He has 10 range with dual target. He has a team ability Cosmic Energy, which means he has willpower and he's protected outwit. And he is a flyer with 8 speed and sidestep. He has 11 attack with a special attack power, 18 defense with invincible, and 3 damage with probability control. This is really important. He targets through he targets through characters. So he can shoot 10 range through characters. You can just hide him in the back and have him shoot through characters, or prob through characters as well. Don't forget that. His trait, we are just having fun before we take it all away. Each time an opposing character heals, give Marquis of Death a false hope token. Pulse Wave. When Marquis of Death uses it, you may remove any number of false hope tokens. If you do, each hit character is dealt X damage instead, where X is the number of tokens removed. Then he has an attack power, Shape Reality to my own vision. Energy Explosion. When Marquis of Death uses it, for each hit target, you may choose that they are healed one click instead of being dealt damage. Then he has a defense power, Stop, Invincible. So and that's on his last click. So the idea for the reason why I included Marquis of Death on this team is because he can use Pulse Wave, and he can use Energy Explosion, and he targets through characters. So he can sit back. You can move your generated bystanders up. You can move your generated bystanders adjacent to your opposing characters, the characters that your opponent controls, and then with Marquis of Death, you can shoot your opponent's characters with Energy Explosion. And because Energy Explosion splashes onto friendlies as well, if they're adjacent, you can KO your own bystanders with Energy Explosion. Or if you need to, you can use Pulse Wave, and that will hit everybody, and that will also KO your friendly bystanders. So Marquis of Death has two options on how to KO friendly bystanders, either with Energy Explosion, a well-placed Energy Explosion, or with Pulse Wave. So that is Marquis of Death. And don't forget, he shoots through characters. So that really makes him handy. The next figure is Molecule Man. And this is Molecule Man, also from the Marvel Heroclix Fantastic Four Future Foundation set. He is a rare. He is unique. He is set number 44. And he is 30 points. He's got 8 range with triple target. He has the Cosmic Energy team ability. He is a flyer with 7 speed and stealth. 11 attack with incap, and he can possibly triple target incapacitate with his incap, triple target incap. He has 18 defense with barrier, which is definitely going to be important, and 1 damage with outwit. He also has a trait, Smoke Cloud as free. Free, roll a d6 and choose a number of non-debris terrain markers within range up to the result. Replace those markers with any combination of hindering, water, or blocking terrain markers. At the beginning of your next turn, remove all markers placed this way. So, as a potential 6, he can Smoke Cloud as free, which is great by itself. But then also, he can turn those Smoke Cloud terrain markers into barrier terrain markers. And he can possibly get up to 6 barrier terrain markers. And that's a free action. So he can do that after being carried, or after being placed, or after moving. He can do that whenever he wants for free as a free action. He can possibly create up to 6 barrier terrain markers. Not only that, but he has barrier on his dial, so he can then power action to create 4 more barrier terrain markers for a possible 10 square barrier. Also, not to mention that if you need to, in a pinch, if you need to get rid of your opponent's barrier, he can do that as well, because he can replace barrier markers with hindering water or hindering or water markers. He can kind of manipulate the molecules of the barrier markers. So a very pesky figure, very very good against your opponent, very disruptive, and he's going to be important for you in this team because he has barrier and he can barrier so many squares of barrier. You're going to want to, the strategy behind this team with Aries and Steve Trevor is you're going to want to barrier all game, kind of hide from your opponent, and keep generating Allied soldiers and German soldiers. Move the Allied soldiers and German soldiers out. KO them with Marquis of Death, or through the course of the game they get KO'd, and then you gain endless war tokens, and then eventually mission points, and then you can win the game. So you're going to have to make those moves fast. You're going to have to play fast in order to gain 20 mission points. But I think the idea is pretty cool because you can hide with the barrier. And so we're going to have a lot of barrier figures on this team. This is the first one, Molecule Man. Let's take a look at another figure that has barrier. Marvella. This is she's 15 points. She's a rare from Spider-Man Venom Absolute Carnage from that set. She's set number 38. We're looking at her dial on the left side. The dial on the right side is her secret identity dial. So we're looking at the dial on the left side. She has 3 range with a single target. She has a speed power that says sidestep, flight, but only if Marvella has no action tokens, which makes her a taxi because she can carry one character, sidestep carry, or just carry if she wants to. Don't forget she has the Spider-Man team ability, so she can also copy another team ability on your team. She has 9 attack with Incapacitate, 18 defense with 16 defense with Barrier, and 1 damage with Empower. So in a pinch, if you need to make a close attack and you need that extra damage, she does have Empower. But I mean, I think she's like the cheapest barrier figure in the game at 15 points. So that's the main reason why we're using her. And she does have a lot of value. She's a great 15-point figure. One of the better figures to come out of Spider-Man Venom Absolute Carnage, the Marvel Heroclix set. So Marvel is a great figure. That'll give you 2 figures with barrier. And you can keep using those to double barrier every turn. The third figure with barrier is going to be Teen Lantern. Now, actually, I was between Teen Lantern and another figure, so you let me know which one you like better. I will show you both. But this is the last 30 points on the team. So Teen Lantern provides us a third barrier, which basically gives us an almost infinite barrier because, one turn you can barrier with these 2 figures. Another turn you could barrier with these 2 figures and clear that figure and then keep on going. So that is one way to get barrier all the time, is to have like 3 low point barrier figures on your team. Teen Lantern is also a very good figure. It's not just good because of barrier. She's 30 points. She's from the Wonder Woman 80th anniversary set. She's a rare. She has 6 range with a single target. She has the Green Lantern Corps and police team abilities. She's got 7 speed with running shot and flight, 10 attack, 17 defense with a special, and 2 damage with prob. That Green Lantern Corps team ability allows her to carry up to 8 figures. And, she does not have to worry about their speed symbols. So she can carry around your entire team if you need to have mobility and you need to get around. You can use her to move everybody. Her defense power is hacking the Green Lantern battery, barrier as free, but only to generate 1 marker. When Teen Lantern uses probability control, you may choose one of her barrier markers, and she may count range and draw line of fire as if she occupied that square. So she can prob from one of her barrier squares. So that is Teen Lantern. It's very useful. But you know, if you wanted to, if you were looking at this team and you were thinking, I don't have enough ways of getting mission points, then I have another option for you for 30 points. Instead of Teen Lantern, you can use Herbie. Herbie is from the Marvel Heroclix Fantastic Four Future Foundation set. He's set number 50. He's a super rare. He's also unique. He has 4 range with a single target. He has the Fantastic Four team ability. He has sidestep with 6 speed and flying, 10 attack, 17 defense with defend, 1 damage with perplex, which is nice to have perplex on your team. Real name, humanoid experimental robot B-type integrated electronics. He is a captain. He has a trait, Future Foundation Hall Monitor. Whenever a sidekick would be KO'd by an opposing effect, you may roll a d6 on a 4 through 6. Instead, turn that sidekick to its last non-KO click and place it in a square adjacent to Herbie. Gain 2 mission points for each sidekick placed by this effect. Now, if you remember, Steve Trevor does generate sidekicks. He generates this allied soldier here, which counts as a sidekick. So if this allied soldier gets KO'd, 50% chance it comes back on its last click, and then you gain 2 mission points. So that has some synergy there. So there's some synergy between Aries and Steve Trevor, some synergy between Steve Trevor and Herbie. Herbie and Aries both gain you mission points. And you can sit back and barrier with Marvella and Molecule Man, which is probably a more than enough barrier, unless you get unlucky. And then Marquis of Death can shoot the bystanders with energy explosion. Keep in mind, when you use energy explosion, you do have to have an opposing character as one of your targets, but you can pull that off with good placement. Or Marquis of Death can just pulse wave and do it that way. So you just want Marquis of Death is good because it's a way of getting rid of your bystanders quickly, KOing them yourself, instead of relying on your opponent to KO them, because you don't want your opponent ignoring the bystanders. So that is the team. I really had fun creating this Aries and Steve Trevor centered team. It's a mission point team. The idea is to gain 20 mission points. Again, don't forget to write in the comments below with your favorite builds around Aries and Steve Trevor, or your favorite mission point builds. I'd be interested in reading those for sure. I really had fun today team building. You've been watching a team build with Tlish video. Coffee and Clix is the name of the YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And don't forget, everybody, to wake up and smell the Clix.